My time in the Boston area was mostly working with high school bands, and then of course I've been around the country for my degree programs. So yeah, the Festival of Champions this year was a big learning experience for me, being the first time I've hosted a marching band festival.
Band parent, and I've had amazing interactions with so many band parents throughout the day who have given time and money and effort.
I've never once done all the behind-the-scenes work for a marching band festival. I've been to many, I've been a judge for many, but I've never sort of planned and pulled off an event of this scope. So. I love watching high schoolers, or any music student for that matter, who are fully committed in performance. And one of the nice things about this festival or any competition is that the students are putting their best foot forward. They've rehearsed for many, many hours. They've trained so hard as a group and as individuals for that moment. They're putting that best foot forward in the hopes of getting a high score, from the judges. We have all these judges who are focusing on specific elements, whether that's the visual element or the musical element or the percussion or the color guard, and they have specific things they're looking for in different rubrics, and then they're evaluating those bands based on their own professional experience as artists. And what's much more important to me than the score is the feedback that those bands are getting. That said, the competitive element it's a real driver because I think a lot of us are fundamentally competitive people. Lee's Summit, when they realized that they had won finals, I hope, I trust that those students will never forget how they felt. The same way that some of those other schools, when they found out that they had made it into finals, or that they had even placed, 6th overall, maybe last year they placed 11th overall. And so that's a massive leap forward for that group. If that is encouraging students to practice and to rehearse with great commitment, great energy, great focus, and work collectively and collaboratively toward that goal, then that's what it's all about. So the emotional piece of it, I think, is really special for those students. But again, it's all in support of student growth, of live music, and of these students working together on something that will be memorable and that will hopefully not only change their high school experience, but change who they are going forward when they're finished with their high school marching band time. As someone who, when I did have a chance to sort of slow down as an organizer and watch and listen to some of these groups, it made my heart full to see how engaged these young musicians were and how well prepared they were, because we had some amazing bands here. So the educator in me, the musician in me, is always really happy to experience that.
Now I need your help to get back to the year 1985.
The perspective as an organizer is really just trying to set everyone else up for success, right? To make sure the students have a great day, the visiting directors, the judges, the UCM student staff, our marching band essentially runs the event as volunteers because we don't have band parents involved here at the university level. So I don't think my overall perspective changed. I did see an event like this from a very different angle, but my appreciation for the marching arts, my love for being a part of music education and live music performance didn't change. It was just a different role for me specifically. That's what makes it worth it, right? The many, many, many hours that I spent and that our whole team here, that the band department at UCM spent to prepare for this event, those are worth it in those moments. When I see 26 different bands, 27 different schools represented, and I see all of those students light up and get the chance to perform in a really great stadium for really amazing adjudicators in front of a really amazing crowd. We had beautiful weather. That's why we do it, right? All the detail work behind the scenes is justified, and it's in those moments where the students are just emotionally invested and musically invested, and performing at their highest level. That's why we do it, So those are definitely the highlights of the day for me. One of the cool things about this festival is because of where it falls on the calendar in late October. For many of these schools, this was their Super Bowl. This was their last big competition of their marching season. I think that one of the coolest things is that a lot of people get to come to UCM and hopefully have a really engaging, enjoyable, and exciting day. And everybody involved in a festival like this is doing it for the students. I mean, there's no other point, right? It's about their experience. And if they then think, oh, UCM that was a really cool marching band festival, I'd love to go check out a football game or check out a concert, then that's great too. But most importantly, it's because we have the ability to put on an event like this that's going to mean so much to those students. Why not? What I love about events like this is it puts the spotlight on the musicians. So many, football is huge in America. It's especially huge here in the Midwest, and rightfully so. It's an amazing sport, and we love, especially UCM, being a part of that culture and being able to contribute at games and to put on a great show at halftime. We have a lot of fun doing that, and it's no longer competitive at the university level. There's no such thing really as university marching band competition. We're there for the experience, the performance, the camaraderie, what we can add to a game day for a crowd. At the high school level, it's so important to have these competitions because the football team's not there. And so everyone who cares about band, who cares about music, they're coming and putting their focus and their energy and their attention on the musicians. And I think that's just, it's a beautiful thing because it shows that music and football are both amazing activities for high school. Marching band and football are both amazing activities for high schoolers to be involved in. And no one is any more important or significant than the other. It's just that football happens to be played with pads and contact and passes and rushes and kicks and all this, and marching band happens to be memorized music and trumpets and drums and color guard, and it's really cool to see the focus on the music. This was a big learning curve for us to pull off Festival of Champions in our first year. We make mistakes, like some things didn't go perfectly. We already have some changes that we're planning on making for next year, slight changes that I think are going to make the whole experience even more resonant, even more exciting, and even more meaningful for everyone involved. For anything, you're always trying to grow, you're always trying to improve, and that's no different with Festival of Champions.